Ka Sorkar Jilla kala menjur banwan rakyat ka amendment haka an Meghalaya Identification Registration Safety and Security of Migrant Workers Act and Rules 2020 MIRSS MW ka bantok kir benia ya ke jinglong jingman jong nongtrei bela bar jilla ki bawan rung syakane ke jilla bat bandan kuna hadu Syllad yaki pynkhein an. Habakren cekilat pathai kubor unong aiktin ke Sorkar MDA ubadeiru menteri Sorkar ubak pol lingdo ulaong. Ka jingalang joka kenhun menteri kala menjur ban pentre kam ya ka amendment ka bethamai haka MIRSS MW Act 2020 bat ya kania on sara hapo kedor bar assembly ka banwan na kebenta ban ay ya ka jing menjur ka bakhadu. Ulaong ru bakani ke jing terwakan penhe ya ka kuna na ka san hajar syaka Syllad persya ikito ki breu ki pynkhein ya ka act. Nalor kata ulaong ru kawai na kimat ka bakongsan jong kani ka amendment bethamai kalong ba ka Sorkar kan penklanya ka rukom trekam na ka benta ban pyrkhing bat wat ya ka jingtep ka babnia syapang ka rukom im bat ka jinglong jong ki nong bela bar jela kenang ban pentikna batang kito ki bompat don keti kam baman kinyo ban wan trei bela ha Meghalaya. Ulaong ru baka kenhun menteri kalarai bakan pentrekam ya ka CCTNS. Lak ban kedau baki ki jing penkelai ki kendon an ki lawan long ru hadin baki kenhun seng bhalang ki bala penjur ya ki jing kendra persya ki nongtrei bela bar jela hapo ke jela. Habakeli ubak pol ulaong ngin bishar bnia ya ki jinglong bat ya ki jingle jingkam jong ki ki breu ki bawan trei bela kenang ban om syuken tiu ki crime graph hapo Meghalaya. Ladaki de ki baladon ya ki dak snew ya ki baki lale halaki jong ki jaka syong jaka sa bat ki jela ki baki wan kumtaru on om syak bakin yo jaka hangne. Nalor kata haba penpau baka Meghalaya ka syanya bha ha ki nongtrei bela bar jela ki bawan nabar ubak pol ulaong kani kalong namar ka jingduna ki nongtrei bela ki bade ki trashnong bat kumtaru ngikmi lenti bakin don bonba ki ban wanrung bat ladang ngimla ban pentikna ya ka jinglong ka jongki kumtaru kin bu ka jingma ya ka syongsuk syongsengan hapo kani ka jela. Nalor kata uni menteri ulaong ru baki don arken hun ki jaj breu ki bawan rung syapo Meghalaya kata ki nong wan syangkai perthailan ne ki nong trei bela ha ka baya debet ki nong wan trei bela kin dei ki ba penkrek ban syong kham slem bat dei na kata ka daw ngilawan ra menta ya kene ka amendment ha kene ka an ka ban te pyrkhing kat kum ki kendon ula benram.
Today's cabinet meeting, one of the major items that was taken up, discussed and approved was the amendment to the Meghalaya Identification, Registration, Safety and Security of Migrant Workers MIRSS Act 2020 and the Meghalaya Identification, Registration, Safety and Security of Migrant Workers Rules 2020. One of the major components of the new amendment is that the state government will optimize efforts to check the antecedents of migrant workers to ensure that only those with no criminal antecedents can join the workforce as migrant workmen here in Meghalaya. So the cabinet decided that it would make use of a system, a central system called briefly CCTNS, for the Crime and Criminal Tracking Network System. Under this system, which is a database of the crimes and criminals, we will ensure that on the basis of this data available, we will be able to verify the antecedents of migrant workers, and two, the local police will also be able to verify these antecedents based on this system. The system is available with the police, and the Department of Labour will coordinate accordingly to ensure that the records of those who will be registered as migrant workers here in Meghalaya is properly verified. Two, the cabinet also decided that under the Act, the original Act of 2020, there was a provision that whoever is found guilty of violating the Act, they were liable to a penalty of 5,000, a fine of 5,000 per individual. But the cabinet will bring this up to the State Assembly in the session which is to be held shortly, whereby we will enhance this penalty from 5,000 rupees to 1 lakh rupees per offender. In the case of repeat offenders, there will be an imprisonment, simple imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 months. No, the criminal antecedent of the workers.
So, in that regard, can you tell us the percentage of crimes committed by them in the past?
No. These are workers who wish to work at Meghalaya, for which there is this act under which they will be registered. So they have to either obtain a police verification from the home state, or when they reach Meghalaya, get their antecedents verified by the state police, which will utilize this crime and criminal tracking network system. And based on the verification done by the police, the Labour Department will then process their applications.
Bakal, these agencies and the contractors who are bringing, so if they don't get these laborers registered, will the government take any action against these agencies and the contractors?
Yeah, there are penalty clauses for which maybe you can spell out the penalty clauses.
Presently, the penal provision is 5,000. So, if now we are putting a bill to the assembly, we are trying to enhance it to 1 lakh
For the agencies and
for
the
the agency.
Okay. And apart from that, imprisonment is also there for the, I believe.
For repeat,
That is for
offenders.
repeat offender.
But not for the agencies.
It will be for the agency only. We have it will be for agency only. No, for agency only.
once this decision has been taken today, I'm sure that this will allay the fears of illegal immigration to a large extent. As I said in the past, two major components of people entering Meghalaya are either tourists or laborers. In the case of laborers, they tend to stay for a longer period of time, which is why we have introduced today's amendment in order to tighten the rule of law that would prevail over such a labor force. We have approved the amendments to the rules, but the amendment to the Act, which includes the enhanced penalty, this will have to go to the State Assembly for its final approval.
So did the cabinet also take up concerning the tourism? Yesterday, I'm pretty sure I had a meeting with you in that sector. What was discussed? Anything?
Interstate migrant workers and also migrant worker. These are two different acts. One is national act, that interstate migrant worker, and this one is Meghalaya act only. Under the interstate migrant worker, there should be a contractor from the state in which they come, and it will be the number will be more than 5 people. Here under the state, it will be one individual also
One
come,
individual can also
less than
register.
5 people. That is for the purpose of this Meghalaya Migrant Worker Act.
This will be under the purview of the Labour Department, and an officer not below the rank of Labour Inspector will be given this task, will be tasked with the responsibility of verifying and checking the documents submitted.
But do we have enough manpower?
Yes, at the moment we have. But should there be a need to enhance that manpower, we will accordingly do it.
Coming to this crime aspect, we are now thinking about them as potential criminals. And what about all citizens, other citizens also? They can also be criminal elements can be there. So why only the migrant laborers you are considering?
No, what is the
Like
question?
the criminal acts and antecedents. So we are considering them as potential criminals.
Right.
I mean, are we considering?
No. We are verifying their antecedents so that they do not unnecessarily add to the crime graph of Meghalaya. If they have had criminal records, which they have committed in their home state, obviously such characters will not be welcome to work
But
in Meghalaya.
it can apply to other citizens who come here also.
As the law of the land prevails over every
So,
Indian.
The question is why only to them? Then all the people who come here.
No, because every state, and in particular in the case of Meghalaya, we depend largely on migrant workers coming from outside of Meghalaya because there is a shortfall of local workforce available, and therefore we anticipate that that number will be significant enough that if we do not verify their antecedents, they become a threat to the peace, stability, and security of Meghalaya.